Good afternoon, everyone. So it is a different commentator today, but today is Fuji, the final round of the GT3 series, and yeah, gonna be an interesting one. I guess it's Jensen at the helm of the comms box today, so yeah, so see how this race is going to get on with 1.5 hours around Fuji. A pretty unpredictable track for weather, of course, as last year it came down with a lot of rain come the end of the race, and you've seen over the years in Fuji and all types of motorsport it's been all different, so we'll see what happens today. See the comments of Sandro and Max in there. But yeah, going into this race, I think we've got a few championship battles left to settle. Sandro Dulius at the moment looking to try and secure that second place in the championship. We have Dion Stahl, who could also take P3, as Cameron Weston Evans cannot race today, it seems, so it's all to play for. In this, we got a few others down in P5 to P7, only 2 points separating Sam, Neek and Jeremy Pope as well. So I think at the moment we're just waiting on the start of the qualifying session.
The fear of losing is far greater than the fear of being hurt, and that means that you've very much got to weigh up your opponents to see where they are, and you're wheel to wheel with these guys. If they're in a strong situation, their car is running well, and you're both
You can hear the guy talking
at that point,
in the background there, but
speed poker.
got 9 drivers today.
All you
I think
can do is try
everyone's
and
going to be readying
gauge
up
the
now
profile of your
for
opponent right, and hope
the
that
race.
yeah, hope you come out in front of him.
And also, I think that it hasn't been the Constructors' Championship wrapped up yet. I think Mercedes at the moment leading by 2 points. The last thing I heard by Audi. So Audi looking pretty promising to possibly wrap that up. I think only one Audi car racing today, or 2 with Max as well as Neek. Those 2 are going to try and do their bit, and looks like we're underway for the SRL League Round 6 finale at Fuji, in a season full of absolutely disastrous weather conditions in most of the races, so you can only expect the same for this one. But we'll see how it is. It looks clear for qualifying, so up in the top right of my screen it says so, so we'll just wait until we are loaded in and see how the drivers do for qualifying, who will take the final pole of the season and who will bag the final victory as well. So yeah, it looked very dry actually. It's very, very sunny here in Fuji, and we're not going to see cars out until, oh, here we go. I think that is one of the Porsche drivers, so I think that's got to be Rob Small. there, and he's coming to the end of the pit lane, and he is the first car out on track today, with a few following right behind him, with Dion Stahl just coming out as well. Let's see. So, can we actually get like a track map? I don't think we can. And, oh, and that is Rob in a spin already through turn 3. A very, very easy losing of the car there for Rob. Just went straight away there, and he's touching the grass there. I think outlaps are being tricky, and all the BMW right behind him there. Dennis, and we have to try and find who's going to be who's first car, who's the leading car at the moment. It's like these two are battling on the first lap there. So there's Dion. I think it is. Yeah, it's gotta be Jim Sonidis. He's gonna be the first driver to start a lap in his Ferrari. So we just go from the roof camera, just get on board of his lap, and it's coming down to start the lap now. A very, very, very long straight is, and coming into turn 1. Very heavy braking zone, you're braking about 280 kilometers per hour into turn 1. Gets up pretty much bang on. So he comes out of 1 through the little kink, which is turn 2. Ain't really much of a turn really, but into 3. Very tricky one with the curve there. It can spit you into a spin quite easily. And it's a very controlled out lap, or it's a very controlled first lap for Jim. Now he's coming down into another heavy braking zone, which I think is turn 7 or turn 8. And it is probably the tightest corner on the track as well. It's a very, very tricky one to get the right exit, especially here. Gets that pretty much decent as he goes through the final sector now. We'll see our first time get on the board in the next half a minute. You see the back end really big traction braking there. He's just struggling with the car. That's what you have to try and do with these GT3 cars. But here comes Jim. We'll quickly see, get onto the trackside camera, and he crosses the line. What's he done for his first lap? And it's a 40.3, which is only half a second off last season's pole. So a very, very good effort to start off with. Reese March 2:13. I think he's just got another installation lap. Dion Stahl goes a 40.6. So it's a good lap from Jim to start off there. Dion got P2. Here comes Jeremy Pope. What's he gonna do? It's a 41.5. Drivers are struggling to get close to that time from there. Here comes Nick though. He won last time out after what has not been the greatest season for the defending champion, and been a one-place grip penalty for Rob Swolve. He's may have sped into the pit lane there. And here comes Sandro Dulius. Is coming up to the line here. Can he challenge Jim Sonidis for pole position? Here we go, to the line in any second now. Crosses the line, goes P3, half second off Nick, he is on his way here. Will he challenge the pole time to start off? We've got 4.5 minutes left. Here comes Nick. It's P5, 2 seconds off at the moment. I think that's Rob just coming back out the pits. Reese March going 57.4 on his second run. And Jim coming around again to complete another lap. And Dion goes P1. He goes ahead of Jim there by 3 tenths. But is Jim going to come back? No, he's not. He's not going to improve that second lap. And Dion returns to the pits. I think he's on really low fuel. Just going for 1 lap attempts only. Jeremy Pope doesn't improve. And I think Dennis has got pretty severe damage though to the front bumper. I don't know why. He should just really return to the pits and repair that. But he's carrying on. Reese March coming through the final sector as well. I think Neek just a little bit ahead of him at the moment. We'll look for anyone crossing the line there. Dion's just crossed the line again. So here's Neek. And he'll be followed by Reese straight afterwards, I think. There comes Neek. He's going to cross the line. Is this going to be more of an improvement? He jumps up to P3. Good lap from Neek. Goes to P3, just ahead of his fellow compatriot Max as well in the Audi. And Reese March goes only P7 for 42.9. There's still lots of time to be gained here. I think 2 more runs pretty much now. And oh, Rob, he's just lost it out of turn 3, and yeah, it's even more damage for him. And yeah, that McLaren is loud. And Neek, is that a spin out of? Oh, he's got to be careful of other cars. You can hear them, and oh, Reese losing it heavily there, just right in front of Neek. Also lost it. So it looks like turn 5 is catching a lot of people out then, and or turn 6 was counted as one big corner really. After 3, just yeah. But we're into the final minute anyway of qualifying. Dion just starting his final run. I think Jim will get 1 more in. Neek may get 1 more lap in. See drivers on their final runs. I don't think they are. I think Sandro's just started the final run though. He needs to get this one right in any effort to try and take the pole position at the moment. I think actually there's a map here. Yes, there we go. Okay. I think that should be good enough. You see someone crossing the line here. Jeremy's got to cross the line on his final run, I think. Or he's got 1 more run to go. He improves just a little bit, 41.2. He's got 1 more go at it. And someone crossed the line there. And that was Dennis Gutneck, and he goes P8. I think that is the end of his qualifying. We'll see more cars. See loads of cars in the pits now. I think their qualifying's over. Is Dion going to extend his pole position? Here he comes. He does not extend his pole position gap. So we got Nick Van Gelder, Max Mulder, Jeremy Pope and Dennis Gutnick left to complete their laps, I think. Or did Dennis cross the line in time? But Dion's currently provisional pole. Can Nick say anything about it? He's going to come up to the line here on his final run. What's it going to be for Nick? As he's going for the long run up to the line, there's so much pressure building on it. But here he comes. Nick crosses the line. He goes P2 ahead of Jensen Randle. He drops down to P3. And oh, Max on a big moment out of the final corner. That's his qualifying done. I think it's only Jeremy Pope to finish the lap. What's he going to do? He stays where he is. So I think that is qualifying over. And I think, yeah, that is qualifying over. And Dion Starr will take pole position for the second time this season, I think. So anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. But that is pole position number 2 for him this season. Hopefully he can try and convert it into a first race win, which will probably be his first in a long time. And there we go, qualifying is now over and it's time to get to the race. We don't know how the race is going to be weather wise, so there's your final results for qualifying. Dion on pole by a 10th. And oh, it is lashing down with rain. And I knew the weather would be like this. I knew the weather would be unpredictable. But oh my god. Thunderstorms and all. I feel happy that I missed this race, because this has been absolutely chaotic. Run into turn 1. Oh. God, what's going to happen? This is going to be absolutely chaos. I think this is the worst weather we've seen this season, next to Daytona. Daytona, of course, was lashing it down throughout the entire race. It got better near the end, but this, though, oh my god, you just see the rain on our screen. It is just mental right now. I think we're just waiting for the guys to ready up. And for some reason the time remaining's already started going down. I don't know if that's glitched to me or that's just normal. It'll correct itself whenever. But this is going to be an interesting season finale. We're going to see a lot of spins and crashes, I reckon. But it's to see who is the best wet weather driver here. I think we're going now. Everyone preparing for the start in. Nico a little bit ahead there. But let's see what happens. And they're away for the race here at Fuji. Look at the spray, absolutely chaotic. They're coming into that turn to turn 1 now. Who's going to get the latest of the late breakers here? It's going to be Dion, who goes really deep. And Nick takes the lead of the race. Absolute scenes, and Max Mulder will take P2, so at the moment Audi won 2 out of turn 1, and they're all going side by side here. A little bit of movement back from Sandro going more the inside here. They're going a few side by side. There's a spin already, and that's, oh, it's Jeremy Pope. He is gone. It's so is Dennis Gutnick, and he goes down to P8 and he'll down to last from that. Lucky enough not to pick up damage. I think Jeremy may have done so, And oh, he spun again as well. So the two Porsches didn't get a good start at all. You see what's going on out in front. The two Audis are already starting to build a gap. With Jim maintaining P3. Dion, not the best start at all for him. Down to P4 from pole position, going deep on the brakes out of turn 1. We've got Sandro P5, Reese March P6. And Jeremy, Rob and Dennis rounding out the field at the moment. But at the moment, looking at Neek, a comfortable first lap for him. Oh, he spun it! It's a puddle. That's definitely a puddle. Like, dropping the car like that. And look, there's his teammate as well. And there's another car. It is, oh, it's absolutely crazy. Max, Neek, and Jim all dropping it. The top 3 dropping it there. We're going to see more of that. But Dion takes back the race lead. Absolutely horrendous stuff going on there. But it's now Dion in the lead. Sandro following closely behind. He's got to try and wait for a mistake here. Oh, and it's a tricky one, and Dion's gone too deep. Sandro's going to take the lead of the race. And he doesn't go deep. Sandro will take the lead. Dion pulls down to P2. And Max Mulder, he's coming back at P3. And Jim back up to P4. Reese dropped down 2 positions there. From the 2 early spinners from the puddles in the final sector. Neek a little bit further back. He looks like he lost out a lot more from that spin than we thought. And already that is Jeremy Pope in the pits, repairing a lot of heavy damage there. And same with Dennis, I think he's also coming in. That has not been the greatest first lap for them too. And oh, he spun into the pits. And there's a big puddle right there as well. And oh yeah, bumper is gone. Clean off there. But Sandro, he's got a gap over Dion now. And here comes Max Mulder. Max Mulder's going up the inside of Dion. And they're going wheel to wheel through the final sector. They want to be careful here. If they go side by side through this puddle, they're going to be crashing into each other. And they are going to go to. And oh, how is this going to work? And they just about kept it clean there. But Max gets through into P2. Some exceptional overtaking work from Max there. A good recovery after the spin. He's up to P2. He's now chasing Sandro Dulius for the lead, considering pace. And Neek Van Gelder is just about catching up Reese March. And I think Jim Sonidis has also just gone past Dion Stoll. Dion has lost 2 positions. Actually, he's lost 3 positions in the space of that lap. He gained 3 and he's lost 3 again. So there's a lot of action going on here in Fuji for these first few laps. We've still got an hour and 25 minutes of this to go, so we'll really stay tuned for this one. And doesn't look like any on-track battles at the moment. I think Neek's getting close to Reese here. He might be eyeing up a move. These two be battling all season. And here comes Neek. He might be getting a run here. Down into the tricky turn 8 braking zone. Here we go. And he is going to go for the move, I think. No, he's going to slot back into behind there. And oh, look at them all side by side. That is Dion and Max. Max has dropped back a few positions there. He may have made a mistake on that lap. Jim goes up to P2 then. Max will take P3 back. And is Jim going wide as well? They're all over the place behind there. Neek goes through up into P5. He gets ahead of Reese March. And Dion is struggling a bit as well. He's got Neek right behind him now. He's got to be careful here. Sandro is pulling a massive gap here. He's in a comfortable position. These guys, they're all battling each other. This is what Sandro needs right now. And look at them, we go 3 wide. It looks like almost 3 wide. Reese is going to try and get in there. The speed of the Lamborghini down the straight. And they are going to go 3 wide. This is crazy stuff. Beautiful camera shots there. And Dion is falling behind both of them now. Is Reese going to come back around the outside of Nick? No, he's not. He's going to have to settle for P5 at the moment. And this is some big stuff here. And Jim is back through on Max. We may have lost that, but we had to look at the 3 wide battle there, just behind. We quickly look back here, and that is Jeremy Pope just exiting the pits. I think he's only just started to exit, or maybe wrong. It may have gone for another pit stop, I don't know at the moment, but that's cost him massively. He's going to be a lap or so down. Sandro, oh, he's gone a bit wide there. But he's keeping it good. Look at them all going together here. Here comes Neek on his teammate. Let's see what he does. They're all going very wide there, but here comes Neek. Is he going for a move for the final corner? Is he a spin? It is. Oh, it's Jim Sneedis. He's gone for a spin. It's Ferrari at the puddle again. I think he's just by the white line. So that shows how much they're really pushing. And he spun it again. Oh, that's unfortunate for Jim there. That's going to put him out of the contention of the battle. But there goes Neek. Through past his teammate. They're going side by side still. Max is keeping in there. Who's going to get out in front? It looks like Neek is going to get out in front here. See what they do on the braking. Keep it just good there. And I think Neek takes P2. They've been swapping positions. Look at the rain lashing down there. Got to be careful through these corners. But Neek takes P2 and he's going to start his chase on Sandro, as they've all been trying to, but they've all been making those slip-ups each other here. It has cost them a little bit, but I think everyone's sort of started to plateau out the gaps. So I think the next battle I'd expect to see is Dion, maybe on Reese. Max sticking with his teammate quite well as well, so it's either Dion on Reese or I'd say Neek on Sandro if Neek starts to get the pace down. I'm going to take in a lot of exit curb through that little section of track. Got a little bit bland at the moment, I have to say. But look at Dion's following closely. On the rear of Reese Marchi. He's got to wait for a mistake, I'd say. And look at Dion, he's going on the inside of the braking zone there. Reese has made a bit of a mistake, he's had a bit of oversteer. He had to correct. And Dion's got right in the back of him as well. I think Dion made the same mistake, just a little bit less effective. But Reese is going to keep the position for now. I knew these guys would start to battle again. Look at Dion, he really wants this. He's looking the inside line up in every single corner. Whenever opportunity opens, he's going to have a go at this. And I think that is the BMW of Dennis. Just moving out the way there. He is down in P9, and there goes the move. Dion up the inside of Reese, but Reese is going to hang around the outside, but he's forced to go off track there. Just understeered away, and Dion takes P2, no, not P2, P4 in this race. And as Dion takes away P4, Nick is closing the gap down to Sandro here. Sandro was about 4.5 seconds, it's now closed down to 2.5 seconds. And to just see the gap just adjusting down the straights here. So there's the braking zone of turn 1. There's so much spray coming off the cars. There are probably millions of gallons of water going off those tyres today. But we see Sandro, he just needs to keep him behind really. It's a tricky track to go for the moves. It's quite an easy track to overtake though. But in this weather, I don't think going through these corners is a easy assessment, you know. But it's going to be our next battle for sure. Reese dropping back a little bit from Dion at the moment, so I think that battle has gone as it is, and Dion might get to work and trying to close down Max Mulder. As look how close Nick's getting now to the leader. This is gonna be some crazy stuff here. So we haven't actually really had much of a battle for the lead, because the leaders always kept on spinning out when they got close to each other. Dion went wide, Sandro to the lead. Sandro hasn't looked back for the last few laps, and we're coming to the end of lap 7 now, and Nick is almost within a second now. Imagine if these cars are DRS, and Nick would be loving life right now, but he's got to make do with the most of the slipstream. So I think we should get a bit of on-board action at the moment. I think that if go on board with Nick, I think that's a good idea. We'll go on board in the cockpit camera and see what it's like for him. So I'm pretty sure Nick uses the cockpit camera when he is racing. So this is his sight at the moment. You could see that Honda right in front of him. I think I shouldn't really be calling that out. I'm too used to seeing, if I see a Honda NSX, call it a Honda NSX, but it's an Acura NSX. Sorry Sandro, but I'm too used to that. But so here we go then. Nick getting ever closer. Sandro here, look how close he is now. So I think we'll go back to the trackside camera here, because we might see a move coming up in the next few seconds as Sandro goes a little bit wide, but I think as he got enough drive out of the final corner to stay ahead of Nick. Nick's going to go on the slipstream here. Nick really closing up. I think Nick's going to have this on the Acura of Sandro, tucking in that slipstream. It's going to get even more powerful the faster they go. Look how much Sandro is going to squeeze Nick the space away here, and Nick, he's going to take the lead. It looks like he's gone a bit wide, but Sandro comes back. They're going to go side by side down into turn 3 here, and is Sandro going to get the position back? Nick's got the inside line. It's probably the best line for this, and Nick takes the lead of the race, finally back. But Sandro, you see him right there trying to get the line back, but Nick's just managed to get through. A very, very good scrap between the two drivers there. And there's only been 15 minutes of this race, so we got another 5 parts of this race to go. out of 6. And oh, Sandro, that was very close. Luckily enough, he does not hit the back of Nick there, but he does hit a few cones. Hopefully it doesn't damage his front end there. Any damage could be costly, but it could be a blessing as well. It could enhance a bit of understeer, which is what you would really want in these conditions. Sandro, yeah, he's dropped back a little bit here. Max is now going to get the move on to try and get Sandro here. Look at the gaps closing down, and there's Sandro going around the outside of Nick there. What's happened to Nick? Nick's might have hit the puddle, so Sandro's going to have a go back here, and Nick is on the pit line. He's not going to pit though. I don't expect these guys to be pitting in this race. Here comes Sandro. He is right in the back here. It's going to be a similar situation as the last lap, but Sandro's going to be the one going for the move this time. And oh, the back end just got away from him in the braking zone. Nick keeps the lead there. Sandro, he's going to have to stay in P2 for now, but that was a good attempt. But it just shows how tricky the conditions are at the moment. And it looks like Reese has dropped back actually. He's lost position to Jim Sonidis as well. So Reese dropped down to P6 at the moment. But still, if he finishes this race, it will pick up his first points of the season. So I think that will be the aim for him at the moment. But of course you want to get the best result possible. But looking at the battle at the front, Max could be a potential challenger for this victory still. Winner of the Snowball Derby a few months ago as well. So another Project Cars 2 win would be massive for him. Dion only 10 seconds back. So we're on to lap 11 this race now. So I think we're going to get about almost 60 laps out of this race, I reckon. Maybe. Actually not 60. I'd probably say mid-50s. Looking at it. So I had to quickly go for a second there, but I am back. So nothing has changed at the moment. So carry on going with this race. With Nick, he's got a 3.5 second lead at the moment. He is starting to regain control of this race. He lost it early on, but he's now starting to properly regain this. Sandro, he is getting hounded down by Nick's teammate Max here. I would want maximum possible points in their fight with the constructors here. I think they only have to get 2 really. against Mercedes. And of course, not racing. I mean, I knew it would be inevitable anyway with the Audi pace. And they are running fine form at the moment. With the two sandwiching Sandro at the moment. And I think Max might be eyeing up a move sometime soon. I think we just wait for something to happen, and I think didn't notice Dennis left there. I think pretty disappointed at the start of the race what happened to him, but that's unfortunate. From there, he's not going to come out with any points today, I'm afraid, but he's still got good targets possibly for next season, I bet. So this is what you got to look out for. But we'll see the two driving the second and third, Sandro Dewis and Max Mulder, fighting for P2 here in this race. If Audi pick up P2 here for Max, if they keep that position, I think it'll be the first 1-2 of the season for Audi. It'll be the first 1-2 for any team, I think, in SRL GT3 since Nick and Max did it in Zolder last season when Nick picked up the championship. They didn't pick up the constructors last season, but this season they're not got the drivers, but they got the constructors this time though, so it'll be one apiece for Nick and Max. Oh, and I see a Porsche in the wall there. I think that is, yeah, that is Rob. Rob in the wall at the moment. Picked up a little bit of damage. Is that too severe for him at the moment? I think, yeah, he's paying. It looks like a bit of suspension damage. His car's pulling a bit. And oh, and we just caught Jeremy there. He's catching the spin. And oh my. Look at the weather. Look how, yeah, that's really, really treacherous now. I think we should get on board here though with Sandro and Max. I think about halfway, and I think it's about 30. No, it's 45 minutes. This is 1.5 hours, so about 45 minutes in, it will change the weather. I think part of the dynamic weather system project cars. But yeah, looks like the only on-track battle at the moment, Sandro versus Max. And they've been close for a good while now. Nick has pulled a good gap out in front. He looks pretty much in control so far. And you can see little puddle spots there starting to build up on that part of the circuit. And this part, I think I really need to try and look on board if there's any puddles here, but we'll have to look at that next lap because a move may be on here for Max, and he is tucking in the slipstream here of the Acura. But is he going to get close enough? I don't think he is. But it's looking closer now as we get into the braking zone. Max is going to come out of the... No, he's not. He's going to stay there. It looked like that. But Sandro goes deep. This is an opportunity for Max to come back here. Sandro comes back on track. Just about ahead of Max. So, such a tricky turn 1 braking zone. It seems to be so far. And Sandro holding his own here against Max. This is a very, very interesting one. I think Jim is closing down on Dion as well. I think it's been pretty much like that for most of the race. Nick is checked out as Sandro and Max start to go at it here. From this, it looks like the rain has it quieted down a bit. I don't know. We have to look from a different angle, really. But at some point, at some angles, it looks like it has like quieted down a bit, but it hasn't. I don't think it has anyway. It just looks like the same as last lap. I'm going to quickly get on board here because so many people are spinning here, and there's the puddle. That's puddle. That is the one that's caught out so many people here, and this might be the move here for Max. Didn't get last lap, but now he's so much closer here. So here we go. See what Max could do on Sandro here into turn 1. He's getting closer and closer as they get closer to the braking zone here. Here comes Max. He's going to pull out to the inside. Here we go into turn 1. Sandro, he gives enough space there. Sandro manages to make the corner and he keeps P2 there. So there's some strong defensive work going on here from Sandro. Max absolutely trying everything right now. And another battle is starting to develop as well, in the shape of Dion and Jim. And the McLaren and Ferrari. Absolute beasts. Absolutely wonderful sounds to my ears. Those engines there. Nick, I think he's pulling about a second a lap at this rate. Or even more. Even so. So that gap between Dion and Jim here, it's getting a little bit closer every time. But let's see what Max and Sandro is at the moment. Let's see. Is the gap ever closer? It is just about as it usually is. Max has got to try going deeper into the braking zone if he wants a shot at this P2. And Sandro moving to the middle of the track here. And he's moving right back onto the racing line. Here comes Max. It's getting a little bit foggy here, so you can't really see much of it, but Max is going to keep behind. You can just see in the headlights. But Sandro goes really deep. Is this the time that Max capitalises on? Yes, he does. Max takes P2. Just about. Sandro rejoins just behind Max as they go into turn 3 braking zone. And it's an Audi 1-2 now. And that is big for them right now. And I need to quickly see. Does it look? Yeah, it is very, very foggy. Even on the drivers on board. It's not just me. I don't know how they're surviving this. It is absolutely mental. But I don't think trackside views are even susceptible anymore. You know. And that's got, I think that's a spin for. Nope. He's just coming out of the final corner. That's why it's a bit slow camera work there from the game, but look how foggy it is. Absolutely mental. But I think we're gonna go on board with people now, I think. So here is Jim. He's just all over the back of Dion here. He's been closing down each and every lap here. I think this is the only camera angles we could really use in this intense fog. But the rain is seemed to just, it has definitely calmed down a bit. I think the first weather change has happened and it's just got a bit foggy and a bit less, or a bit lighter for rain. And Jim is just a bit too far back at this moment in time. We're just seeing to the braking zone here, wait. And what's happened here? I don't see any headlights on that McLaren. I need to quickly look at this. There is, now the headlights aren't on that McLaren. I think it might be on for Dion, but they're not on for me anymore. So that is weird. And I think Rob is also left. And now it's Max. Max has made a mistake. He's went too deep into the turn A braking zone and he is down to P3 now. And Sandro retakes that P2 that he lost from going off track himself. So Max suffering what Sandro did there, and now it's back on between these two. Oh, and that's Dion. We just got that as well. Dion's made a spin. And that, where is that? Is that, oh, that is just as they enter the final sector pretty much. But that is Dion down to P5 now. He's lost position to Jim. Jim has finally got past. And let's see what Max does. Is Max going to come back here? The braking zone so tricky. Look how close they're getting under the braking zones. It's hard to see because of the headlights. The only thing you can see. But Sandro now holding off Max for the second stint in this race that he's going to be holding off. This is the only on-track battle at the moment. Because of course Dion's spin has dropped him back a little bit. Reese a further 20 seconds down the road from Dion, and Jeremy Pope a further 2 minutes, I think, at this moment. But at the moment, if you look at the last laps, Max of course not the greatest last lap, as he of course had that moment. But look at the leaders' pace. They're all pretty much in the 50s at the moment. Neek just edging everyone out a bit more than everyone else to each other. They're definitely ones to watch at the moment. Only if you can see them. I wish you could just get rid of this fog, but Max has dropped back a bit from Sandro. Now at 1.5 seconds separating the two. And we've got 55 minutes this race remaining. So we've gone through 1/3 of this race now. We've got 10 minutes until the second half begins. Weather usually changes, and Max has gone off again. That's not going to help him. That's separated them even more now. And Max is well over 2 seconds back. That's not what he wants at all. And that is Jim. Jim into the pits here, so I think was going for a quick pit stop for tyre. I think it was just for tyres, so no fuel, just tyres. He's going for the quick pit stop here. I think that could be interesting. Could people be changing their tyres here? Can people be really shredding those tyres that quickly? See what the leaders are like, because Sandro's closed down massively. Nick might be making a few mistakes here as he's dropped back a little bit, and it might just be the gap actually. Project Cars 2 gap doing its normal things. I think the feeling in this race has fell a bit flat now. I think still the two closest at the moment on the track, Sandro and Max, but yeah, it's well over 1.5 seconds. So gotta try and wait for Max to try and close back in. And recent laps haven't been the best. You see Nick, so it did look like he did make a mistake then, because he had a 57.2 the last lap. So that's not what Nick wanted at all. Fastest driver on track at the moment is Sandro then, comparing with recent laps. But let's see what laps they do put in now. And hey, look at this though. The two are close again. And Max is right on the back of Sandro now. This is going to be interesting here. It's really foggy. They're not going to be able to see each other too well. But let's actually have a onboard of this little battle here. Sandro just outpacing him on the straight. What's Max going to do into the braking zone? He's going to be on the last of the late breakers. He's going to go down the inside. They're both going to make the corner and make a little bit of contact with each other there. And get on board with Sandro. Sandro's a little bit behind Max as they go down into turn 3. Max backs out of it. Sandro just keeps ahead of Max for now, and that was a good little battle there. Look at Max with really strong pace there, 49 from Max, and it went a little bit deep there. It's going to cost him a little bit. We're going to quickly see best lap so far of this race. Nick with 47.7, and I think that was Max getting close to his PB, and he's just went a little bit deep there. I think we only have to resort to on-board shots because this is just so difficult to even see anything in this fog and rain. But I'm going to keep on board with Max. And there's a big mistake from Sandro here. Max is getting closer. Max to go for the inside into the final corner. No, he's not. He's going to keep his nose in there, make Sandro go wide. And Max is going to be alongside him as they go down the straight. They're drag racing from the start to the end. Let's see whose car is the fastest of these two. They're pretty much equal here, but Sandro and that Acura is absolutely flying down the straight. And that Audi just struggling to keep up, and they're going to go side by side again. And Sandro just about cuts in ahead of Max Mulder for now, and oh, it is such a good race between these two throughout. It's been absolutely brilliant, and Sandro's gone wide. Here comes Max. He's going to go around the outside here. Oh, this is very, very close stuff. But Sandro gets back through here. But Max is going to go for the move here into turn 5. He's got a big moment. He's going to lose the back end. Sandro, he thinks better of it. He just waits and lets him spin round and then slots back in through. I think that is... oh, that is disappointing stuff from Max there, but he's still got plenty of time to come back at this race. I'm hoping whatever next weather change we have, it just gets rid of this fog, because it's honestly horrible stuff, this fog. Yeah, it's sort of got a little bit boring now. I understand why. Some people don't really like the job of commentating these races, but it provides some brilliant racing there. But it just when there's no battles, it gets a bit boring. But I expect there's going to be a lot more to come on for now. But there's pretty much no battles on track at the moment, so I guess we'll just jump on board to some random cars. But here we go, there's Nick van Gelder, the race leader. Consistently setting 1 minute 50s. He's been pulling a gap every single lap. Fastest car on track. But let's see what kind of lines he's gonna do here. Oh, he turned it a bit too much there, he had to correct. It's a lot of stuff. And I think Max may have made a little mistake there, because he's dropped back a bit more from Sandro. He's now 20 seconds down the road from his teammate. So I think he may have dropped 1 or 2 seconds behind Sandro there. So, we're lap 25 at the moment. We may have seen not many battles at the moment, but oh, and Nick, he's had a moment. So, that's probably why I'm run on board with most guys. But if we look at the gaps, Jim has started to close down on those new wet tyres on race March here. It's going to be a close little tussle near the end of the race, and I had, oh god, oh, Nick's gone through the puddle. Oh yeah, you don't want to do that. He's going to lose so much time this lap through those few mistakes there, but he's going to carry on going as he is. I think he's going to keep about 12 seconds in the lead anyway, so that's not too bad for him. But yeah, you want to look with Jensen Randle and Reece March. These two are going to come to blows in any minute. Those old wet tyres are not going to do Reece well against the Ferrari. So it's getting really gaps are pretty separate at the moment. I think the closest at the moment is Max and Sandro. I have to nip to the toilet, but be back in a few minutes to catch up with this. But yeah. So I've returned, and it looks like, looking at the changes, only one Reese March is lost out here, and he is fallen down to P6 now, and I think he's just about to lap Jeremy Pope here, just out ahead of him at the moment. And Jim got through. It's either a mistake from Reese or just good pace from Jim there, because it's looking good for him, and he's now hunting down Dion's start again. So that pit stop has worked out wonders for him, because he's going to have better tyres all the way to the end of this race. And if you look at the time remaining, we have 36 minutes remaining of this race. Neek has got a pretty comfortable gap. Max and Sandra fairly close, but Sandra looking pretty comfortable where he is. And everyone else at the moment is kind of all spread about a little bit there. Especially from Max to Dion, that's a massive gap. There that is. So we've halfway back, and let's see, let's look at the trackside cameras. Has it got a bit easier to see? Because I think it has a little bit. It's got less foggy than it was before. Well, let's just see down the straight anyway. So we'll just test it on Sandra here. So let's quickly look. From a distance shot, it is still quite bad, but it seems to got better. So we can go back to these onboards like this now, and you can see it, that kind of camera. It's a bit foggy, but when you get a bit closer, you can see it's a bit better now. So we are approaching 30 minutes now. And yeah, ain't too much going on really at the moment. It's about 5 seconds in between Sandra and Max. We've got about 6.5 between Dion and Jim. Reese 15 behind Jim, and Jeremy a lap down at the moment. I guess we could try. I guess we'll look at the championship. As it stands, Sandro will secure P2 with Nick Van Gelder with where he is at the moment. If Jim does overtake Dion, I think that would be another place for Nick Van Gelder in the championship. Because Nick will take the fastest lap and a win. There will be 7 points advantage to him. He will jump up into a potential P4. So, a good recovery for him. Same with Max Mulder, where he is at the moment. It looks like he's going to jump ahead of Fons Van Houten at the moment. But I think that will be about it. See us another 10 for Jeremy Pope using P7. And easily going to secure the 2 points. And I think the closer battle now is starting to get more Jim and Dion. Jim is getting closer and closer. Oh, and that suspended Jim. Oh, that has halted his progress massively for Dion here. And look at the weather, actually. Look at the weather. The rain has stopped. That is huge. Will it dry up in time to the race, or is it still raining in parts of the track? And oh, I heard a big clunk in the wall there. No, it's not anything. I think it's just sounds there. But Dion is made even further safe now. It's mainly Sandro and Max. These two, really two to look at. For battling for position. I think Jim's starting to catch back up as well to Dion now. There's updates and Reese March. He's lost out a lot of time. And by a lot of time, and I think he may have pitted, so may not be thinking it's that. Oh, he went really wide there, almost too wide. 25 minutes left of this race at the moment, and with Reese now a bit lower down in terms of time wise. Now Jeremy Pope has a chance to possibly go for this P6 and salvage another few points for himself. So I think the fog is cleared now. The rain has cleared as well. Where we see pit stops. Track looks very wet still on the boards of the race leader, and you can see the puddle is still very much there in the final sector. Track looks very wet still. I don't think the guys are going to pit. Even if it dries up enough, you could sort of see it's getting less sort of like standing water like on the track surface, but it is, don't think it's going to be enough. Sandra will have a back off there, that's going to cost him massively, trying to avoid the puddle there. So we've officially got 20 minutes to go now, this race. And looks like Jim has dropped back a lot more now. He's actually 2 minutes behind. I think he's gone for another pit stop. Or he's just had a few mistakes in the lap, but it looks like he's had another pit stop. He is now only 25 seconds ahead of Reese March, who is only 15 seconds ahead of Jeremy. Other than that, Dion's ahead by a minute, and Max looks like the fastest car on track at the moment. Sandro putting in a decent time just now, and Max a second slower that lap, so Sandro retaliated the pace. But you can see how better the times are getting. You see how better the weather has got now. No more rain, just a wet track just to clear out. It's become more into conditions, and these fastest laps are going to come rolling in whenever they can before the tyres properly drop off. We've got 19.5 minutes now. Interesting development actually. If you look at the gap between second and third, it is really closing down. And by really closing down, I mean really closing down. It's now gone down to only about 4 seconds between Max, Mulder and Sandro do this. It's getting closer and closer. We could see a final few lap battle here. But Sandro it seems he didn't have a great lap there. And he's still got a 46.1. As Max crosses the line, he gets a 45.6. He's setting the fast times here, is Max. That's what he needs to get this P2 this rate. But at the moment, we'll look out in front. Meek looking pretty much in control of this. I'm gonna go to some more what am I doing there? Trying to get rid of the bottom thing, but you can't do that. But yeah, Nick pretty much in control at the moment. He's only got 17 minutes left. He's got a 16-second gap out in front. Got more. We can get more of these trackside views now. Get more of these helicopter shots and such, because the fog is sort of starting to clear a little bit. The rain has gone as well. It's made it much more easier. You see from a distance here, it's still quite foggy, but still, it's not too bad. The battle for P2 is going to spice up here, because the gap is now about 3 seconds. Sandro's been putting in good pace, but Max has been putting some exceptional pace at the moment. He is on fire for this, and let's see them cross the line. Let's see what Sandro puts in. Sandro 46.3. There goes Max, a 45.0. Wow, that is actually mental. New fastest lap of the race by Max Mulder there. You pick up an extra point for that, and that would even add to Audi's prize pot there. And I think Max, with that fast lap, if he does pick up P2 there, he'll jump pretty much close to where Sam Brandt is at the moment, P5, who's got 17 points. But I don't think he's not gonna be able to beat that if any points hold today. Even winning a max points is not gonna work for him at the moment. But you see the gap at the moment. He's still gonna try and go for this 1-2. Sandro pretty much secure in P2 in the standings at the moment. Dion, the only man who could derail him. Dion needed to minimum win at the moment. He's a minute down, so unlikely of happening. But Max wants to try and pick up as many points as possible to go up the standings. Jensen Randle as well, he's going to jump up quite a few positions with this result today. If he keeps it there, he's going to pick up 4 points. And he will overtake Rene Vanster and Logan Orland as well, to potentially pick up a top 10 championship finishing position. And also Reese will be picking up 3 points, will jump ahead of Lance Lebrun and be tied with Logan and Rene as well. So it's going to be a good day for a few drivers here. At the moment, it's looking the best for Nick. He's on for his 2nd win in a row. Being in absolute control since he took back the lead after losing it a few times out of spins very early on with massive puddles. We saw the final set to caught out so many people, but now to get into the final stages of this race, 15 minutes to go. Only quarter of an hour to go. Max, oh, this is going to be a very interesting one. Look how close Max is now. We got 45.5 last lap. Sandro's starting to respond though, for 45.8 in that last lap himself. He was 3/10 off Max, but still it's a good response after not the greatest of laps. He was in the 46s before, now he's back in the 45s. Max half a second down on what his 45.0 was before. But yeah, this looking like there's going to be a move going on here for a repeat of Zolder last year. Just want to stay tuned for this one because this is going to be something interesting. And what's happened to Max there? Max has actually dropped back a load, so I think Max may have touched the puddle. He's got to. He must have touched the puddle there. I think. Oh, that is unfortunate for Max there. We were about to be treated with an absolutely blinding final few laps. But I think we got about maybe around 7-8 laps to go for this race. So then we've got 11 laps, no, not 11 laps, 11 minutes left of this race. And if you transfer it into time, We'll quickly calculate this. And Nick's pace at the moment. Look at the gap actually. Look at the gap. I've noticed it's gone down massively. Nick, is he starting to struggle here or is he just cruising? Because Sandro is closed down a lot here. But he's pretty much got about... only got about 5 laps to go. Well, we've got 6 after this. After Nick crosses the line now, I think we're going to have 6 laps left of this race. And Sandro is closing in. You will see he's closing in. What's happened here? Max Mulder, I think he's pitted for new tyres for a fastest lap attempt maybe. Look at the fastest laps. He's still got it. He's still got it in his hands. This is Max, but I think he may have pitted for new tyres and might have gone for that. On the edge of my seat at the moment. This is pretty interesting at the moment. Sandro, now look at the gap. Look at the gap. Is that under 5 seconds? Oh, it was for a second there. But it's about 6 seconds maybe, I'd say. Or 5.5. And yeah, look at the gap now. Sandro, he's wanting his victory really badly here. Do not blame Sandro for this. Nick got one last week, but Sandro, looking at his pace, realising this might be the time for it. And he's battling with Dion here. Dion does not want to do this. Oh no. Oh, Sandro's not gonna like this. He's gonna lose out here a lot. With Sandro closing in on his rival here, and he's fighting with Dion. It's not gonna help him. It's not gonna help him any bit. And They're still going to go side by side here, and oh, and Nick's gone off. He's gone off a little bit. This is going to be close. 3.5 seconds. It's going to be absolutely blinding final few laps. Because we thought that Max were closing on Sandro, but it's going to be the opposite way. It's going to be Sandro closing on a Nick, and this is going to be... I don't know what's going to happen here. Nick in the 48, Sandro 46s. So Sandro should catch him up. With a few laps to go. I think it's just because of the track getting drier and drier here. Is that what Max might have pitted for the dry tyres? This might be why he's going so much faster. They're on 41s here. The two leaders staying out. Is this going to be the right call? And that's probably why Dion was fighting with Sandro, because of the dry tyres. And what a call this might have been for Max. If Max gets enough pace so those tyres really die out, that's going to be big for them. But it's the two on the wet tyres now. Let's see what these two can do. Two on the dry, the lot on the dry are on the 41s right now, or the 40s. And look how close Sandro is. Sandro, he sees Nick right in front of him. You got 3.5 minutes to go. You got 2 laps, well, you got 3 laps left of this race. What would you do if you're Sandro in this situation right now? So here we go. Sandro, he's been chasing Nick down for most of this race now. I don't think, even on the dry tyres, Max won't be able to catch up. There's only going to be 2 laps. And I don't think he's going to be gaining 20 seconds per lap. But you can see those tyres have really died out. And Sandro has managed it much better than Nick in this period of time here. But here we go. 2 laps to go. 2 laps for Nick to defend the lead from Sandro here. It's going to be another intense finish in the GT3 Championship. Who will come out in front? These two here. And it's under a second. Sandro's got it under a second here. And Nick went really deep there. Sandro's going to be right on his gearbox. And it's going to be right on the engine here. Here we go. They're going to get really close here. Absolute touch and go between the two as they go through the middle sector here. Oh, who's going to come out on top between these guys? It's absolutely insane. Sandro, he is hunting down a first win in absolutely ages here. And Nick going a bit deep there. This is going to be it, the final few corners of this lap, and we're going to have one more lap left of this race. Here comes Sandro. Is he going to get the run on the Audi of Nick here? Oh, this is going to be absolutely so close here. Here comes Sandro. He wants it. He's going to go for the move here. into turn one. What's going to happen here? They're both on the wet tyres. They're going to have very little grip. Who's going to be there? They're going to both bump each other, and they're going to Neek a little bit on the grass here. Sandro goes off. Neek just about slows down, but oh, and Sandro's lost out massively. He's a second down, and that means Neek looks like he will be on course for the victory unless Sandro could come back on this lap. He's got to if he wants any chance. And it's only 5 attempts here. He's got to make a move in the next... He has to do it in the final sector. He's going to do it final corner maybe. Final corner, last ditch effort from Sandro, possibly. It's been a long time since he's last won an SRL race. Look how close he is. Oh, here comes Jeremy. Is Jeremy going to interfere with this? Come on, stay behind them just for this bit. Is Sandro going to get close enough? I don't think he is. Is he going to go for it in the final corner here? Here comes Sandro and Neek. Sandro's going to go for the move. It looks like he's going to have a go at it, but a little bit. But Neek's going to hold on just about. And it was a brilliant effort from Sandro, but Neek is going to win the finale here in Fuji. He's going to take his second win in a row. Absolutely storming performance from him, but what a performance from Sandro as well right at the end as they spin across the line. Sandro P2, I'd feel would be absolutely gutted that he didn't get that. That's absolutely brilliant drive from Sandro there. Max, I think on the dry tyres there. Who's going to get the fastest lap here? Let's quickly see. At the moment, it is belonging to Max Mulder. And he will come across the line, weaving away. He'll take a podium. And Audi secured a Constructors' Championship as well, in pretty dominant fashion with a double podium to their name today. Dion will be coming around as well to cross the line. I think, yep, Reece Marks just crosses the line, and I think, yeah, these guys just about getting around here, and there they are on their in laps, and the two Audi guys, and Neek's stopping there a little bit. Is there going to be any donuts from the guys? I think Sandro doing a few, and the two Audis, look at them both bumping that. Dion cross the line for P4, and that is the result there. 50 laps of Fuji from absolute torrential rain and thunderstorms and fog to dry weather at the end, and the two drivers who stayed out on the wet tyres, Neek and Sandro, will take home P1 and 2, with Max Mulder P3, Dion Style P4, Reece Marks picking up his first points of the season with P5, Jim Sanidis in P6, Jeremy Pope in P7, and Rob Small, who retired, as well as Dennis Guknick. So I think we'll get the drivers in for some interviews. Of course, it's the final race of the season, so we gotta interview our top three. So I think it's Neek, Sandro, then Max. The top three. So we'll add those two. pretty boring. It was semi-boring for most of it. It wasn't much action until the final few laps there. Sandro with good pace, getting close. I think Sandro's just joining now. I think the guys will be joining here. If Nick and Max are joining, I don't know if they are or not, but I guess we'll start off with Sandro anyway. Sandro, to be honest, that was a very, very, very brilliant performance. I don't know what to say really. The pace was absolutely amazing at the end of the race. You were right with Nick on the final few laps. Made a bit of contact into turn 1 there. It was absolutely chaos going through the whole race, but in a way I'd feel a bit gutted, or would you say anything different from that race?
Yeah, no man, I'm gutted. I thought I had it there. I knew I had the cards in my hands at the end of the race because Nick had to save some fuel, and I was good on fuel to the end. And then the rain stopped, and I thought we might have to pit for slicks. Yeah, me and Nick stretched it out on the wet tires. The last few laps were absolutely terrible to drive. The tires were overheating everywhere. But I just saw Nick coming closer and closer because he was running lean mixture, saving fuel. And I know I was much quicker. On the last step, I was right behind him. I thought, this is it, man. I can go for it. And then we went side by side down to turn 1. And I have to look back at what happened, but we just made contact. I don't know if I came down on him or he came up, or just both together.
I think
and we just went,
you both touched each other and you pretty much just dragged each other towards each other or something. It's a very, very weird physics, but yeah, it was a very weird instant there. But I thought you had him there, to be honest, into turn 1. But I mean, I bet it was absolutely horrible, those tyres at the end. Absolutely,
yeah, it was
screaming out.
Yeah, very difficult to drive there in the end. The tires were dead, they were overheating, the track was dry, and oh man, that was a great race though. Great strategy race as well, very, very challenging with the weather change and the crossover points in the end there. And yeah, massive shout out to Nick, ending his seasons with 2 wins. Would have liked a win as well. I think I finished on the podium every single race this season apart from Portimao, but I didn't get a win, so that's kind of gutting, not gonna lie, but hey man, I at least know the pace was there. I was really consistent this season, and yeah, I hope to come back the next season a lot stronger and maybe win a few races.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't actually won a race for a long while. I don't know when exactly the last time was. I think it was actually in F1. I may be wrong, but I think it was Japan.
It was last year January in LMP2 at Laguna Seca against Nick.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it has been quite a while since your last race win. I think that's the closest you have actually came to it so far ever since. But I think after that pace, it's pretty obvious that you're going to hunt for much more than what was this season. As of course you came very, very close this season. But yeah. Definitely much more, would you say, go for?
Yeah, I surely hope so that I can challenge for more wins. I think I've proven this season that the pace is there, like at Daytona, for example, or at Spa against you, and obviously this race. The pace is there, in the wet, in the dry, and I've got the car figured out. I hope I can stay at Acura for next season, and yeah, hopefully have a good shot at a few race wins and maybe even fight for the championship. We'll see.
Well, good stuff. Brilliant race from you there. Absolutely storming pace at the end, but you unfortunately just came out short to the winner, Nick van Gelder. I mean, 2 wins in a row now, and to end the season with the win and securing Audi the Constructors' Championship. How does it feel initially?
Yeah, it's great. The momentum I've had in the last 2 races, especially after the start of the season, was very disappointing. And yeah, it was also a really, really good race, and also thanks to Sandra for the compliments. But You know, at the start it was a little bit similar to Portimao, where I, was able to gap the rest of the field and build out a bit of a lead. Actually, at the start of the race, there was a
Oh,
big
yeah.
puddle in the penultimate corner. And
Yeah,
of
we
course, since
saw
I was
3
leading,
cars.
I got completely called out by that. So I spun into the grass. I luckily avoided the wall, so I didn't have any damage. And
Yeah.
I was running in 5th or 6th for a little bit, but then
Yeah,
I had the
seemed-
pace on the driver's front, so I was able to overtake them again. And then I think Sandra had like a 5-second gap, and I was able to close it down, so I knew that the pace was good. And after I overtook Sandra, I managed to, I guess, build out a lead of about 15 seconds or so. I was making a few mistakes here and there, but overall, I think the pace was really good, just like in Portimao. So I just felt really comfortable in the rain. Just also, I was able to just feel the car well and slide around a lot without really losing any time. But then I was also pushing a lot, running in rich mix as well, and with the Audi R8 having a bit of a smaller fuel tank than the Acura,
Ah.
I actually had less fuel than Sandro, so someone's mic is tuned.
I think that's Sandra's.
Yeah, probably. But so around like halfway, I was actually still planning to pit because the tires were going off pretty quickly, and just like in Portimao, I was expecting a race similar to that, so I was actually planning to pit for a new set of wet tires. But I saw that Sandro kept staying out, and I didn't really dare to pit and give up my lead while Sandro was still there, like within the window of a pit stop. So I just decided to stay out for the time being, and then it got to the point where the race got now close to the 30-minute mark, which is the final crossover point for the final weather slot. And so I didn't want to risk pitting anymore, because I was like, if it dries up now in the final half an hour, it's not worth pitting for a new set of wets, because I'm just gonna make an extra stop if I have to pit for slicks as well at the end. So then I decided to just postpone my pit stop to the 30-minute mark and see if it actually dries up or keeps raining. And then it got to the 30 minutes and the rain eased off a bit, and luckily the fog did as well. Hopefully it wasn't too bad on the stream, but it probably was.
it was quite bad, and
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So it was bad for us as well. It was really hard to see the apexes and the corners, and I think my pace dropped a lot, but I think everyone's did.
We couldn't see anyone's headlights, really. We struggled to even
Yeah.
see that. We could only see like the headlights from the cars coming to turn 1 and such. But yeah, I think the rain
Yeah.
also, like,
rain and fog.
Yeah,
it was a good combination.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it did. The rain did stop in the end, but I think the track properly started to dry up with only 15 minutes left. That's probably
yeah.
And we saw Max pit, and
Yeah, so I was
saw
actually
him a minute
really
back, yeah.
considering pitting for slicks as well. I had already requested a stop. I had selected the slicks, and I almost went to the pits, but I decided to not do it again because I was reacting to Sandra. I saw that Sandra was staying out, and I didn't know if he was going to pit or not, but I was like, okay, I'm not going to pit until he does, because I just didn't want to give up my lead. But the track was drying. I didn't have enough fuel as well. I knew I didn't have enough because I was running rich all the race, and when you select a race strategy, you can see the red numbers when you don't have enough to go to the end. So at around like 20 minutes to go or something, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm probably not gonna pit. Sandra's probably not gonna pit, even though some were opting for slicks. I just had a feeling that Sandra was gonna stay out because he kept being quiet as well about it. So then the focus shifted towards just saving fuel to get to the end. I kept checking like how much fuel was burning per lap, and it was really close. I was running in lean for like the final 50 minutes. I was short shifting a lot. I was just driving as slowly as I could to just save the fuel because it was really close to get to the end. And of course Sandra was rapidly catching up. So at that point it got pretty intense and I was really under pressure. And then with about a few minutes to go, I think when we entered the final lap, Sandra had completely closed the gap, and I knew in the final lap I had enough fuel, so I went back to rich mix on the final lap. And then Sandro pulled up alongside into turn 1, and then we had that weird bit of contact. Still not sure what happened. I felt like I was all the way over to the left, but we had a bit of a touch, and we both ran off in turn 1 because of that. but Sandro ran off a little bit more than I did, so I was able to got back and regain the lead. And then, well, Sandro was still very close, so that final half a lap was still really exciting because I kept looking in my mirrors. I was expecting Sandro to maybe like dive from somewhere, and then of course the final section of the track has a lot of braking points. It's a very tight section of corners, so I was really fearing that Sandro was gonna try something there. And then, you know, in the final corner, he like had his nose up the inside a little bit almost. I ran it a bit wide as well, but I had a bit more of a swooping line to get a better exit. And, you know, then I exited onto the front straight, and I knew that the Acura was probably a little bit quicker in the straight line than the Audi, but I had bridge mix, I just had enough fuel to do so, and yeah, I just managed to hold on to take another win across the line. But it was a really intense final lap, and definitely, well, enjoyable when you look back at it, but at the time I was really under pressure. So I was enjoying it that much, but yeah, really nice race. Congrats to Sandro as well for, you know, a really consistent first season in GT3, and you know, for this race as well, because he really managed to race well. He managed the tires well at the end, and also the fuel, and yeah, it was a nice way to end the season. Hopefully, it was a bit enjoyable to commentate on as well.
I mean, majority of the first part of the race.
Yeah,
and majority of the last part, it was a bit boring when the gaps like plateaued out. So. Yeah. But when it all got close, I don't know. When I came on board with people at some points, I just catch them mid spin, and it's like, oh yeah. I hope they're not like cursing them. But I mean, yeah, it was a fantastic race from you two both, and I think Nick, drivers champion in season 1, and now constructors champion in season 2. So also, well done to you.
I didn't even realize that actually.
And Cameron.
Yeah, that's nice to solidify. But yeah, I did like at the start of the season, after the first 3 races, you know, I completely messed it up in Daytona, I messed it up in Imola, I messed it up in Spa, and you know, I was so frustrated that I, you know, made myself look like an idiot in the first 3 races by crashing so much, and you know.
Well, look at you now.
Yeah, and then it's really, really nice to come back from that with 2 victories in a row, and yeah, I'm really glad to end the season like this, because if my run of bad results would have continued, I would have really been just very annoyed with myself, and now I've got a little bit of relief that I can still drive.
Yeah, a bit of a tough year for you, but it was a good stuff from you there, and of course Sandro P2 in the championship as well, and I think Nick, you secured P5 in the championship as well with that result. So
well, I think it was down like 12th at some point, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, not a bad comeback from you there, but I think that is everything for GT3 this year. So I mean, anything else be said, Sandro, or is that all said and done?
Well, of course, we have to congratulate with the championship as well for this season. Of course, winning it in both the Series F1 and GT3, and also for commentating, because if it wasn't for you taking the initiative, we might not have had a race today. So, thank you.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, yeah, it was quite a. Well, I'd say, yeah, definitely, it was well worth it to commentate that, because that was just insane. The weather at the start and the battles all the way through. Absolutely crazy end to the season, but it was Nick who came out on top today, and for the next season, we don't know what's going to happen. It's all a mystery, but yeah, I think that is it for the season. So yeah, I think that'll be me signing off, and Nick and Sandro signing off, I guess. But yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Of course, tuned in, and yeah, see you next time.